A day that Chappell Roan doesn't absolutely stun at a concert with whatever she's wearing is a day that doesn't exist. Recently, the pop artist Chappell Roan rocked Coachella with this absolutely gorgeous butterfly costume. So of course, I'm gonna try to make it.
But first, a word from our sponsor, Warrior with a Pen Games. Warrior with a Pen Games is a niche board game designer who takes inspiration from history, commissions epic art for their games, and has been coming out with some amazing new stuff. In Hunting the Tiger of Kai, up to 6 players work together to build a legendary samurai skills on the battlefield. Players fight a series of duels on their way to face Takeda Shingun and defeat the legendary Tiger of Kai. In Daimyo Senso, 1 to 8 players take the role of a 16th century Japanese daimyo in a conquest to become the next shogun. And now, a new RPG joins the ranks of Warrior with a Pen Games. The Three Kingdoms game is the company's first RPG, and you have the chance to win a free copy signed by the author with a bookmark and character sheets. Comment Three Kingdoms game below, and 1 week from now, I will send the game to a randomly selected commenter. Thank you, Warrior with a Pen Games, and don't forget to comment for a free game.
The version that she wears is a very specific color palette. It's very pink, very for the girls, very sunset. I do like pink. I also like blue, so I figure why not combine, do a purple theme, love purple, and still keep pink and blue in there, you know, kind of space vibes. Space butterfly vibes. Space butterfly, but like cool. I have a drawing that I'm going off of for this, as I do with most of my projects. The first thing to do, though, is I want to measure how big I actually have to make these wings, because I want to create a big paper pattern and draw out on that first, because I think that'll make things easier. So let's get started. I went ahead and put together these little grids, which are in a smaller scale, but I wrote down the actual measurements. So now I can take these and make them in real size on pattern paper. For my pattern paper, I'm just recycling some newsprint drawing paper. Before any more work can be done on the wings, I need to prep my base fabric. I'm putting together a glue and starch water to soak it in and hanging it out to dry in nice crisp sheets. Now that the wing fabric is drying outside, that's going to take a while, so I thought I'd get started on what I'm actually going to be wearing on my body, which is going to be a pair of bloomers and a corset. For the bloomers, I'll do that later. I don't want to. Genuinely. For the corset, I am going to recycle this gal. She was the first attempt at 1700s that I ever did, and I'm very proud of her, but she's done. I'm never gonna wear her again, and it's not my best work ever. So I'm going to recycle the bodice into a corset, and then the skirt I think I'm gonna save for a future project. The corset that I'm making is called the Dahlia corset. It was from Arania Black Corsets, and it is the same as my white one. I am making some minor adjustments just so it goes a little higher over the bust, but otherwise it's the same one. And now a crash course on corsets. it's not terrible. I'm very happy with how the bust came out. I went ahead and added an extra dart just so it's a little more of a cup shape, and I think that worked out well. I made this in a day, so obviously it's not as well fit as the corsets that I take a lot of time to make. So it's got a little bit of a ducktail right here, and the lacing gap is certainly less than perfect because of the whole grommet thing. I didn't do historical grommets where it's got uneven spacing between them as it pinches down. I just did even grommets all the way down to save on time. And it worked. I saved on time. This is done today, and I can move on. The last base garments I need are the bloomers, and so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can whip those together before all the fun stuff happens.
Bloomers are actually going to be spandex shorts that are traced from a pair I have already, and then they will be covered in ruffles that are taken from the old purple gown. I also added a ruffle to the bottom of the corset as well.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. This is exactly how I've imagined it. I'm so unbelievably happy. I'm not too worried about the fact that the lacing is honestly kind of messy on this because I'm gonna have a giant pair of wings on. Who's looking at the lacing? All of the ruffles look so nice. I'm so happy I got to recycle that dress so well because I worked hard on these ruffles and I'm glad they got a second life. The corset fits great. Adding the extra darts in the bust area definitely helped just hold everything into place because when I move side to side now, it stays where it's supposed to. And I also went ahead and ordered some purple tights to go with it, and I think that that really adds to it because she does have pink tights in the original costume. So now that our base layer is done, we can start building all the fun stuff. So the bedazzled details down the front, as well as the wings. I feel frickin' feminine nominal. As far as wing supports go, these things actually have to be wearable, but also they need to hold up. So what I do have for that is in high school, I bought these, which is plastic plumbing tubing. But it's stiff enough to hold shape, but if you add heat, it's pretty moldable. So I think that I'm going to use what I have left of this to make my base, and then I want to paint it a light color, pink or purple probably, just to make sure that it doesn't, you know, look like this.
Once the frame is ready, I can begin tracing and cutting my starched fabric.
I got my monstrous frame set up. It's not actually this tall, it's actually about this tall. It's just springing up because it's not attached to anything yet. But the concept is this bit here slips into the corset and then holds up the wings. So now all that's left is to actually put the wings on the frame. This is going to be done through mostly some hot glue, some liquid glue, and then also I have strips of my starched fabric that I'm going to use to patch any areas that I can't quite get to stick. Nothing left but to get at it and completely forfeit any space I had left in here. So the wings are on their supports, and now I want to make sure I evenly disperse all of my supplies between the small wings, the big wings, and the thingy-majigs that are on the corset. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pattern for those and get those cut out. They don't need any supports because they're just going to get stitched right onto this, but they do need to be patterned out so that they look proportionally correct, and then I can start adding different colored fabrics and things to the wings and details. All of my wings and extra bits for the corset and the giant pair of wings, all the base layers are cut out, they're put on their frames, and they're ready to be decorated. To start that, I'm putting a base layer of fabric down before I do all the frills and glitter. And so I'm going to be doing pink, blue, and purple fabric in the outlines that I had traced earlier. I'm just going to head, and the same pattern I used for the cutting out of the wing base, I'm going to cut it into the smaller pieces and use that as patterns for my other fabric. The problem is that it's 102 degrees Fahrenheit where I live right now. I live in an older house with not amazing AC. This fan has been going for 3 days straight, keeping me cool. But with loose paper around this fan, it's a bit of a problem. So I'm gonna have to turn my fan down to do this because I've been trying to cut the pieces out and they keep flying away. So I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna be so sweaty at the end of this. Ugh.
Luckily, my pink and blue fabrics were translucent enough that I didn't need to boil myself alive to get them cut out, and only had to be miserable during some of the purple fabric. The purple fabric was also the only one that frayed badly enough that it needed the edges singed.
So this is what it looks like all laid out. This is all my pieces for the big wings. The goal tonight is to just get as much glued on as possible. I'm going to start with hot glue, see how that works, just because I have hot glue. If not, I think I have some T8000. It's like E600. And I'll use that instead. So get as much of that done tonight as I can, and then tomorrow I will finish this piecing as much as possible
and then move on to piecing the small wings and the corset pieces. Alright, last night I managed to get the front of the wings covered in fabric like I wanted them to be. Very happy with how this is going. Now the back, multiple things stuck to my sock. Ah, sticker. Oh!
Had this stuck in my foot and then in my hand.
Now that I've been wounded in battle, we can move on. The front's done. I'm going to glue all the fabric pieces that I cut out onto the back of the wings. My goal is that by the end of today, I will be ready to, well actually by this afternoon, I'll be ready to take these outside and start covering them in glitter.
I went ahead and popped some grommets onto the smaller wings so that they could be attached to the corset via the lacing, and then began the glitter process. To help with the color of the glitter, I did dye my glue with a little paint, first pink and then purple.
When I tell you that I used every last bit of glitter in that bottle, the sun comes out every once in a while and I'm a little blinded by it, but I think that means I did the right thing. So I'm gonna let all this sit out here and dry as long as it doesn't rain. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go take a shower because I feel like I may never get the feeling of this much glitter off of me.
So I am going to take pink trim and some blue trim. I'm going to make all of these pieces fluffy, and then whatever leftovers I have I'm going to put on the tiny wings, and then whatever leftovers from that I have I'm going to put on the big wings, and then it's going to be finishing touches. We're so close to the finish line. Let's get at it.
I was gonna get started on that trim, but then I realized that the trim I bought is this bright blue, and it could work. But I don't like it that much, so I'm painting it all purple. Which, you know, I could have just ordered new ones, but I like to make things difficult.
I'm hand sewing these little doodads onto the corset so they can be easily removed if I ever just want a plain purple corset in the future.
It's been so long since I started this project. I'm not unhappy with it. I'm very happy with it. But despite all my precautions, there's still glitter everywhere. Despite trying to be careful, my hands are covered in hot glue burns and I can't get this purple paint out from underneath my nails. And despite doing my best with time management, I have still run over schedule. In good news, I went to the dentist yesterday and I don't have any cavities. Just, have to finish this butterfly. It's gonna look so good when it's done. I just have to go on. There's no use in procrastinating anymore today, so it's time to start putting on the finishing touches, and that means rhinestones.
In all my years of experience building costumes, I've never actually had to bedazzle anything. Like, even just back to the days of like plain old crafting, I've put glitter on stuff before. I've never properly bedazzled though. This is like an added level of stress. I don't like not being immediately good at things. Can you tell I was a gifted kid in elementary and middle school who burnt out and became an art student? Yes, stay in school, kids, but also never neglect your weird hobbies.
And whoa, so cool! Go-gurt, freeze to reveal. Try it.
Ah! Oh my gosh!
Pull-ups has refastenable sides.
The final thing to take care of is making a choker and those lovely glove sleeve things that Chappell has. So I have a second pair of tights, and I watched a TikTok, so now I'm an expert on how to do the glove thingy-majigs she wears. And then on top of hers, she has little butterflies, and so I just went ahead and cut some ribbon butterflies out, and I'm gonna plop those on there, and I'm gonna do a little bit of hand sewing because the amount of glue fumes that I am fanning out of this room right now is frankly ridiculous. I have it properly ventilated and all that, but I need it to be completely ventilated before it's nighttime and we need to sleep in here, so I have to stop for today and get all the fans going. So we're gonna do this, and hopefully that'll be where we're at tomorrow. Okay, got the little choker going. It's just the old waistband of the second pair of tights I had, and then these are the legs. I just slashed them up, and I didn't clean up the edges or anything because I'm going to be wearing them for a day at most, and if I wear them again, I can clean them up then if I want to. But I'm very happy with the way they look, and I think the butterflies came out so cute. And I'm really excited at how well these little pieces here came together. So I think that all that is left now is to get a good night's sleep, put the finishing touches, and by finishing touches I mean a little extra glitter, on the wings, and do a reveal.
My name is Chappell. I'm your favorite artist. I'm your dream girl's dream girl. And I'm gonna serve exactly what you are.
This is my first time wearing false lashes, and like I kind of like it, but also on camera, you can't tell I have eyes unless I go. Well, this was crazy. I have not done anything this crafty in a long time, and it was nice to go back to my roots, and I also have not done intense makeup in a long time. So this was all around loads of fun. I'm very happy with how it came out. I am looking for an excuse. I probably won't wear the big wings again for a while, but I am looking for an excuse to wear this to something, a party, a concert, what have you. Fitting through doors is, like, fine. They bend. But I would be knocking into people at all times. So maybe something special, like a future Halloween or something. I have no notes. I love this. I think it's so great, and I'm very happy with it. Thank you so much for joining me in watching how I made this monstrosity. If you'd like to see more content of the costume as well as my other work, I am on Instagram and TikTok as @artbylgo. If you'd like to see a gallery of all my other work, that is on artbylgo.com. If you'd like to support the channel, I do have a Venmo and a Patreon, both artbylgo, and I now have an Amazon wish list in my Linktree. You can find my Linktree in my bio. It has everything that I just mentioned. Be sure to check out the sponsor for today's videos, Warrior with a Pen Games, that it's a wonderful small business that you should support. Also, I have a ridiculously fun time playing those games, and they're perfect for little history nerds. Once again, thank you for joining me. Go check out my other videos if you liked watching this one. Consider liking and subscribing, it really helps me. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye! So much glitter!
My fingers look like little galaxies. Space!
Open, 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 close, open, close.